Welcome back, y'all, to Searching for Faith. If you're new here, I'm Tracy, and this is going to be like a totally random video. We're going to probably post it on a bonus day. So as y'all know, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I moved just after Christmas. And so in my packing and then unpacking and setting up my new office, like we do, we come across lots of interesting things that we either forgot we owned or just forgot about in general. I came across my old art journals. So what I thought I would do is just for fun. A lot of these are kind of like spiritual in nature, so I thought for fun we would look through some of these old art journal entries and just reflect on, the meaning of them and share them. So let's get started. And FYI, if you hear a weird grunting noise in the background, I have a snoring dog laying on a dog bed behind me. I wasn't sure if he was going to want to sleep on the dog bed because he stopped sleeping on it in my husband's office. And I was like, well, now that I've got an office, I will put him out here with me. And I'll put him right by the window because he likes looking outside of the window. Now that he's got these big windows, I'll try to show you guys like a video insert of what I'm talking about. These big windows, and he likes to get up on his paws and like look out and see what's going on and see if he can see other dogs. And so he is curled up in his little dog bed, snoring away like cavaliers do. So if you hear any grunting, that's him making that noise in the background. But as you know, I am very excited because we are not in as urban of an area. We're still in the city, but we're in like more of a suburb, and we're in a quiet neighborhood now. So you guys will not have to hear annoying sirens and things. I mean, it's not unheard of that you could hear a siren in a more quiet neighborhood here and there, but it's not going to be like every 5 minutes like it was when we lived on a busy street in an urban area. So let's get started. So this journal, this one right here, is literally just like an old, like super cheap journal that you could buy like anywhere. Who knows? I even might have bought it at like Walmart or a Dollar Tree or something. So this one is like ancient and is literally falling apart, as you can see. And then this one was one that I think is a Moleskine journal, maybe. Does it say Moleskine on it? Yeah, it's a Moleskine art journal, and this one's still in use somewhat. I just haven't like picked it up in ages. I just haven't really been sketching much lately, like free sketching where I just sit down and draw something. But yeah, so I will preface all of this by saying I am not a professional artist. I never have been. I never even took proper lessons. Like, I'm sure I took art in like elementary and middle school, but I don't even think I took a legit art class in high school. So I have read books and watched videos and things, but most of the artwork you're gonna see is just me being me, just random artwork. As a young Christian, I was definitely a journaler, so I love to write. And so I have journals upon journals upon journals of me just pouring my heart out to Jesus in my prayer journals. But another way that you guys know that I love to be reflective and worshipful is through my artwork. Because you guys have seen, I'm sure you're not new to my channel, but if you are, I always have to show you that I do have Bible art journals where I do drawings and sketches and paintings and things like that. So sometimes it's paint, sometimes it's drawing, sometimes it's, I use a lot of markers. But I have a whole playlist for my Bible art journaling, so I will link it below if you're into the journaling thing. But as y'all know, one of the things about me personally is that I am just kind of like a creative minded kind of person. That's just how I am. I am not analytically brained. I'm definitely creatively brained. And I kind of I'm also ADHD, so I'm just kind of like very free flowing. Like one of my favorite artists is Van Gogh. So just that like beauty in the imperfection kind of, art. So I feel like my artwork, what comes out of my own brain, which you can already see from like the hint that you're seeing, is going to be very abstract in nature. Um, but it's just like coming out of my soul, me trying to interpret certain thoughts or ideas or scriptures or things like that. But then again, I also have a lot of art where like I'm pretty decent, as long as it's not a human being or an animal, I'm pretty decent at drawing what I see. And now if you are a legit artist watching this, you'll be like, actually you're not that good, Tracy, which is totally fine. But for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty decent at drawing what I see. So you'll see some art where I'm literally just like maybe on vacation and I'm trying to draw something that I'm seeing. But mostly I pulled this out because I was like, I want to show you some of these like more abstract, like spiritual kind of pieces that came out of my brain, which you may think I'm like insane when you see some of these, but yeah. So let me make sure we are in frame and that you can actually see what I'm showing you. All right, so this is the first one. Yeah. And I don't know, I was probably like a older teenager, early 20 something when I drew these. So I wrote brokenness, forgiveness, ? I guess I was like looking back through them at one point in time and trying to think like, what did this mean? Honestly, I'm not really sure about this one. I don't know what the eye means. Like, is this God? This is a heart. I'm not sure what this is. And then there's broken pieces below. I'm not sure this is a ravine. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm looking at this one and I'm like, what? I don't know what I was going for there. So this one is Psalm 38, 9, 10, and 12. I'm gonna try to like prop this up without like it completely tearing off. You know what, let's open the Bible and read Psalm 38, 9, 10, and 12, and we'll try to see what this is supposed to be representing. All right, 38, 9. I don't know why it's skipping around some. Why it skips. No, 9, 10, and 22. All right, so 9 and 10 this is Psalm 38, starting with verse 9. O Lord, all my longing is before you. My sighing is not hidden from you. My heart throbs. My strength fails me, and the light of my eyes, it also has gone from me. And then 22 is, make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. So yeah, so I think, stop flipping over. It says, O Lord, all my longing is before you. So I think like my heart is longing before you. My sighing is not hidden from you. My heart throbs. I think this is probably my heart throbbing. My strength fails me. I'm thinking maybe these are like arms and I've like X'd them out because there is no strength left in me. And the light of my eyes has gone from me. So I think that's why the eyes are shaded out. Let's see. And then make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation. So I think, yeah, it's just like God coming down to help me. So I think, yeah, this is like my throbbing heart longing before him, sighing. I'm not hidden from him. The strength is gone from me, and my eyes, the light has gone from my eyes. So I think that's my interpretation of Psalm 38, 9, 10, and 22. This is just a flower that I drew. Some squiggly lines. A squiggly face. Totally random stuff, I know. All right, so this is the unfading beauty of a gentle, quiet spirit. 1 Peter 3, 3 through 6. Let me read the whole passage to you. Let's find 1 Peter 3, 3 through 6. Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. For this is how, I lost my place. For this is how the holy women who hoped in God used to adorn themselves by submitting to their own husbands, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, and you are her children if you do good and do not fear anything that is frightening. So I'm guessing that this is supposed to be like inside. So like this is like a girl, right? But her true beauty lies within, and when her heart is set after God, her heart is for Jesus. I'm thinking that's what this interpretation means, that this is like what you find like within, and that's where true beauty lies. I think that's what that means. This is a sketch I did of Jesus, and I'm pretty sure this is a painting that I saw somewhere. I don't know if I sketched this at an art museum while looking at a piece of art, or if it was like an art book that I was looking at and I sketched it, but this was just a very simplistic sketching of Jesus. I have a feeling this was supposed to be like Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane. I'm not really sure. As you can see, the hands are horrible. I told you, I was like, I'm decent until it's a human being. Like, I'm just horrible at people and animals specifically. So, but yes, that was a sketch of Jesus. Please don't laugh. Okay, so this is Buster from Arthur. All right, so this doesn't have an interpretation, but I'm thinking like these are like arms, and then this is like the dove coming. So I think this is like that feeling like you're drowning. Like you kind of think of like the old Jars of Clay song Flood, but feeling like you can't find your way, like you're drowning. And then in that last moment when you feel like all hope is gone, that's when you either remember or you see that God is there. So it's just that like I kind of think of also, I can't remember how it is in the book, because I've only read the book once. I listened to the book, but The Lord of the Rings and The Return of the King, that last scene when Sam and Frodo have escaped Mount Doom and are laying on the rock, and it's literally erupting all around them, and there's lava, and they're exhausted and they're tired and they're just ready for death to take them, and then the eagles come. I don't know, just like, I'm literally gonna start crying just thinking about it. Like, that's, I feel like a good symbolic representation of sometimes how we feel. You know how they always say, like, when you hit rock bottom, that's when you find him. And I think a lot of people can attest to that. A lot of people feel that way. And I think I personally got to that point when I had left my faith and had become jaded and angry at God. And I kind of had to hit that point where I felt like all hope was gone. I felt like Ecclesiastes. I'm studying Ecclesiastes right now, and I felt like that person from Ecclesiastes. Like, it's all meaningless. Life is vapor. It comes, it goes. We live and we die. Life sucks, and there's just no point to anything, you know. And having to hit that rock bottom before you realize that, one, God never left you, which is my reminder to you at the end of every video, is that God has not forgotten you, and he's there. But you just kind of like, suddenly it's like the clouds part and you see that light, and you run to him. I don't know. I'm getting emotional, y'all. Okay, But yeah, so I think that's what this represents. Okay, this is me drawing the Aquafina logo. Obviously, I was just trying to practice some art. I think, once again, I'm not very good at kids. I think I was trying to draw like joints and things. I think this was a picture. I'm not sure where I saw this picture, but I was trying to sketch it. Actually, I'm like, when I see this, I'm actually pretty proud of myself. Like, I feel like that's pretty good for me. Like I said, I'm just not very good at drawing kids. I think this was me trying to draw my bouquet, but then I gave up. Like my wedding bouquet. I think this is, again, like this whole like idea of like brokenness deep down inside. I'm not sure. I mean, I can't, with this like beating heart, I'm kind of feeling like either this is Christ's love for us that surpasses everything, even when we're broken deep down inside, that there's hope. I'm not really sure, honestly. I'm not sure what it means. Because, like I said, and I could have drawn it like in a moment of having immense feelings about something very deeply, and this is what I drew to like represent how I was feeling in that moment. But I'm not sure. I don't have any notes on it, so I'm not sure what this is, but I'm pretty sure this represents brokenness. Like deep down inside of you, you're broken. And this, I'm not sure if this represents God's love for me, never failing. I'm not sure. So this is the armor of God. Let me see if I can find Ephesians 6:11. Okay. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm. Stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth. I'm not sure which one's I'm assuming just the circle is the belt of truth. Let's see. Fastened on the belt of truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness. I'm pretty sure that's what this part is. And as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace. So I think that's what this is right here. In all circumstances, take up the shield of faith. Right here, shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming darts of the evil one. And take the helmet of salvation. I think that's what this little thing is right here. And the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying at all times in the Spirit, and all prayer and supplication to that end. Keep alert with all perseverance, making supplication for all the saints, and also for me, that words may be given to me in opening my mouth boldly to proclaim the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains, that I may declare it boldly as I ought to speak. So that's the armor of God. And here are just some flowers that I drew. It's like a flower or a star. Not really sure. There's a tree. Let's like kind of shift it a little bit for you guys. A castle that I was trying to sketch. A lot of times I like start something, as you can see, and then don't finish. I think this is a world that is broken, but for God so loved the world. So God, this is kind of like, tears, blood. I'm not really sure what this obviously represents. But the heavens, but yes. So I'm not really sure exactly what it represents, but obviously it is representing God intervening into a broken world. It goes back to like I said, I'm learning about Ecclesiastes, like the world is broken. The world is meaningless. And there's nothing we can really do about that in our own power. But God can. God sent his son, Jesus, to die for us, to bleed for us, to wash away, so that we could be with him in heaven. So, I don't know. I'm assuming this has something to do with a broken world, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. This is another one of those, like, that feeling of drowning, and then seeing the light. I'm not sure. I mean, once again, very common thing, a girl with a broken heart, feeling like crying. I think I probably had lots of moments when I was, especially my younger years, where I felt lost and broken and alone. But Christ is there. He hasn't forgotten me. He's adopting me into his kingdom. So I'm assuming that's kind of like what that means. Okay, I'm not really sure. I don't know if this is like one of my favorite songs from Rita Springer is that song. I used to sing Rita Springer songs, y'all, but it's been a long time, so if I try to sing it, please don't judge. But that I don't understand your ways. Oh, but I will give you my song. I'll give you all of my praise. You hold on to all my pain. And with it you are pulling me closer, pulling me into your grace. And around every corner and up every mountain, I'm not looking for crowns anymore, or the water from fountains. I'm desperate and seeking, I'm frantic believing that the sight of your face is all that I'm needing. And I will say to you, it's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. That song, worth it all. I think that's what this is a reflection of. Like mountains and streams and crowns, and I will sing and raise my voice to you. Once again, Noisy Dog. Very simple drawing of a girl raising her voice in song and praising God. All right, let's see. Here's a flower. Same, similar thing. I'm not sure. I think this is kind of like C.S. Lewis-esque, because I feel like this is like here's a bird, and here's mountains, and this is like a pond, maybe? I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be. This is a horrible sketch of the chapel at Callaway Gardens. But yeah. So, that is my really old sketchbook. There's not a lot to show you in this guy, but let me make sure you're in frame. All right, so let's see. Flower, coffee cup. I think this is me sketching. I can't talk. Sketching a scene. I think this is in Helen, Georgia, from the gazebo. This is Helen, Georgia, inside of a coffee shop. Flowers. Same scene of, that whole, of what we saw in the other one, drowning, lifting your voice up in song, God coming to the rescue. Is a sketch I did, I think, in Myrtle Beach from our rooms. This was like our view of the ocean. I was actually pretty proud of myself with this one, like the amount of detail. I didn't really finish it. I didn't finish drawing in the rest of the foliage here. I actually thought I did a decent job with the building and the power lines and the road signs and the umbrellas on the beach and that sort of thing. So One of those I was actually pretty proud of myself. Yeah, view from Hotel Horizon in Myrtle Beach. This was when we were in Costa Rica, and it was like my view from my pool chair of the pool, and it had this like island that had palm trees on it. Not my best, obviously, but this is a poinsettia, I'm pretty sure. This is some flowers that I saw in Costa Rica. This is also a view in Costa Rica. It's just a view from the beach, the Papagayo Gulf in Costa Rica. So there was a boat on the water. So this is just like the mountains in the background and the water and the boat on the water. This was literally just a tree that I sketched that I was sitting in front of when I was on this private beach in Costa Rica. Let's see. This is just me trying to sketch a bookcase. This is when we were in Savannah, and I was trying to sketch the window. Like I was in like a sitting room at a bed and breakfast, and I was trying to sketch what I saw outside the window. And this was supposed to be like an armchair sitting in front of the window, but as like many things in this book, I didn't finish. This is a photograph of a painting I did. So I got into kind of doing my own reproductions of Van Gogh paintings. So this was one of my reproductions of, I can't remember which painting this is, but it's the one of the church that he did. So this is my reproduction painting of that painting by Van Gogh. Here's another painting by Van Gogh that I did that was a reproduction. I also did Starry Night, but I did it in colored pencil. But this is a painting, and this is actually on my parents' wall. I'm pretty sure I gave both of those to my parents. This is a sketch of a gravesite in, I think, the Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. This is like my favorite park. So this was, I think I tried to sketch this more recently. I feel like maybe COVID, like during the pandemic, I tried to sketch this little bridge that goes over this creek, but I kind of got in over my head and just didn't have the patience for the detail. And this is when I was playing with watercolors and trying to create like the feeling of like a beach. So like the darker, the lighter, then the white in between, and then the sand. So playing with the watercolors. That's what these are. And then this was just like a sketch of a desk I was trying to do. This is when I was playing with charcoal a little bit. I'm not sure what this scene is. I think it might be that same Hogwaller Creek Park that I like to go to. This is when we were in St. Augustine for our, I think, 15th anniversary, because St. Augustine is where we went on our honeymoon, and we stayed at an inn. I think it was called, yes, the Bayfront Westcott. And this was sitting on the porch at the hotel. And this was like the view of the bay from the porch. I was really kind of proud of myself with that one. I was like, I hadn't drawn in so long. I actually thought I did a decent job sketching what I saw that day. And I think that is everything in this one. But definitely now I have charcoal on my fingers. Definitely like, looking at my sketchbooks definitely makes me want to kind of take up sketching again, because it has been so very long since I've sketched anything. But I am, as you saw in my plans for 2025, I am wanting to take up doing more in my Bible art journaling. But yeah, so let me know if you are more artistically inclined like me, but aren't a true artist. Like, how do you like express yourself artistically? Do you also use it as an act of worship? Are there other ways that you show God an act of worship? Like, do you worship God through your voice, through an instrument that you play? There's so many ways that we can take talents, not that I'm saying I have a talent at drawing, but take things that I feel like anything that we love was given to us first by God. Like, God put a love for creative things, a love for crafts, a love for art into my soul. And for me to use that and have it reflect his glory and use it as art, as an act of worship, I think is a beautiful thing. So let me know, like, it doesn't have to be artistic either. Like, what things do you feel like you have a knack for that you can find a way to use it for God's glory or use it to bless others? Like, maybe you have like YouTube's been throwing like ancient videos at me, like videos that are like 10, 15 years old. And so it's been throwing like the extreme couponer people at me. And I'm like, maybe you're an extreme couponer and you're using it to like make donations to like food banks and like soup kitchens and things like that. Or, you know, maybe you're a really good carpenter and you're using your skills to be able to help others, or you're an electrician, or you're, you know, like, what ways has God given you a talent or a knack for something that, you know, you can also use that to reflect him and bless others in some way, and point to Christ, you know? So it's like those like things that can feel mundane, can feel like just this day-to-day worldly thing, but if God has given you a heart for it, then it can be used to his glory, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So let me know if you have something like that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this weird like flip through memory lane of my artistic entries. Some of the weird ones, I know. But as I was telling you before, remember, God has not forgotten you, okay? He is there. He's waiting for you. Run to him. He is going to welcome you with open arms, no matter how long you've been away, no matter where you've been, what you've been doing. Like, God forgives and God will welcome you home and embrace you. And we are in this together. I'm here for you as well. So please let me know how I can pray for you in the comment section below. Okay, guys, if you did like this weird art journey video with me, please give me that thumbs up. And if you would like to follow along with me on our spiritual journey, we do a lot of Bible study related content here. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then definitely hit the subscribe button as well. Okay, guys, stay warm, stay safe, and God bless. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.